Hi there, my name is Gregory Adam Scott, and this is my game Armored Commander, the World War II Tank Commander roguelike. In this video I'm going to be going through a single day of combat, showing off some of the features of the new released Alpha 7. It's been about 2 months since I recorded a video, and in that time Armored Commander has been greatly improved and updated. I'd like to emphasize in this video that Armored Commander is really intended to be a game of survival. It's not a game where you're going to be running around shooting things at will and wreaking a path of destruction across Northern Europe. You're the commander of a Sherman tank. In this era and in this field of battle, Sherman tank was often outgunned, outnumbered, and outmatched by the forces against which it was fighting on the ground. So in this video I want to talk a little bit about how you can proceed in your first day of combat to survive, and what kinds of strategies you must use as a tank commander in this campaign. So let's start a new campaign. Short bit of text that tells you who you are and what you're doing. Here we see the campaign settings. This is a new addition. We have the option of having unlimited selection for tanks, which means you can select any tank model that was historically available during that time. And commander replacement, you can either choose permadeath, which means if your commander is sent home or killed, your campaign ends, or you can choose casual mode, which means you can always replace your commander with a new character, and you can keep playing to the end of the campaign. In this game, I'm going to choose casual replacement just in case my commander gets killed, to show you what happens. And but I am going to pick strict tank selection, so I'm going to start with the weakest, earliest model of M4 Sherman tank, just for some extra challenge. If you like, though, you can pick unlimited and give yourself a later model as well. So let's enter my name. Here you can either enter your own name, any name whatsoever, or you can hit Ctrl-R to randomly generate a name. Choose a name for your Sherman tank. I always pick Caribou. And we are put into immediately the combat calendar, where we see the current date, sort of a description of what's going on, whether or not we're called up for action, and on the first day of combat you are always called up for action. So our only choices from here are to begin the combat day. We can also take a look at our tank. We see some settings which I'll set up later. We can take a look at our tank model. So M4 earliest doesn't have a loader hatch, doesn't have anything else, and has quite weak armor, especially for this period in the war. And then if we hit F3, we can take a look at our crew. Now when you start off, your commander begins at level 3, your gunner begins at level 2, everybody else is at level 1. They also have ranks, but at present you can't increase in rank. Later on you will be able to get battlefield promotions. What you need to do, though, at the first, before you start your first day, though, is assign your skills, because especially at the beginning, these can be very helpful. So the commander starts off with 2 skill points, the gunner with 1. Let's give the commander 1 point in fire direction, and another one in keen eagle-eyed to help him spot. Eagle-eyed is especially helpful for the commander, because I usually keep his hatch open, and this gives him, if that activates, a bonus to spot and identify units when they're spotting through an open hatch. Gunner, let's up the quick trigger because maintaining rate of fire is always handy. So we've applied our skills. Let's begin the combat day. Clear. Ground conditions are muddy, which means that it'll be much more difficult to move around in the combat map. So let's set up our tank. Load some HCBI, which is smoke ammo. Throw it into the ready rack. Put in some armor penetrating shells and high explosive shells, and then fill up the rest of our stores. I usually like to take about 30 AP and fill up the rest with HE. Now if you like, also from this screen you can set your hatch status. I usually like to start with all hatches that can be opened, and you can set what type of shell you want loaded in the gun, which one you're going to use to reload, and whether or not you will use the ready rack. And the keys for all of these commands are right down here. So let's start. At the start of the day, it always takes a random amount of time, during which you already expend HE shells. It's taken us 6 hours, so we started at daylight, and now we're 6 hours later. We've actually reached the area of our campaign day. So first action we can do is we can check an adjacent area, and it will tell us what the expected level of enemy resistance is like. So you can see now we're already at 11 o'clock, and there's only 8 hours and 15 minutes left until sunset, at which time the campaign day ends. So this is our target point, this is the exit area up here. If we can reach this, we get bonus victory points. This is where we're starting. I'm going to pick, well, let's see what the village is like. Village is light. That sounds good. So we're in the weakest model of M4 Sherman tank. We don't have a lot of skills yet. I'm going to be very cautious when I'm moving around the campaign map because I don't want to run into more resistance than I can deal with. So usually what I'm going to be doing, even though I don't have a lot of time left, I'm going to be spending the 15 minutes required to call artillery in, or to attempt to anyway, as I move into adjacent areas. So hit A, call in artillery, hit it, success, move into the village, and we have a battle encounter. That's a truck, no big deal, another truck, sounds good. And they were destroyed and hit by smoke. So trucks are no threat to us, but as long as they're active, there's a possibility that there could be enemy reinforcements, which could be anything from light weapon squads to tanks. So the sooner we take this truck out, the better. Unfortunately, it is moving and it's hull down and there's smoke between us, which is going to make things difficult. So let's close up driver and assistant driver. Commander's going to direct main gun fire. Gunner's going to fire main gun. One of the recent changes is that I've removed the separate orders to rotate the turret and fire main gun. If you want to rotate the turret, you just do it in the firing phase. You don't have to tell the gunner what you want to do before you actually do it. Everything else is good. He's set to reload, so let's proceed. Fire main gun. We're going to turn. So we rotated the turret one sector. This shows us the line of sight to the truck, and let's fire. 5 or less, not great odds, and we missed. We maintain rate of fire, so we're going to shoot again. In the next shot, we're not going to get the penalty for rotating the turret, and we will get a -1 bonus because it's a level 1 acquired target. So let's fire again. So now it's 7 or less, which is much better odds, and I missed. So the truck lives to fight another day. And was finally destroyed, so that's good. Artillery fire, no damage to me. So unfortunately, because of that artillery fire, I lost infantry squads, and that was a net VP loss of 7 points. But I got 6 VP for capturing the area, so that's okay. Most important thing is I'm still alive. The trucks did no damage to me. So let's continue on up the road toward the exit area. Check the next one up. Medium resistance, that's not great. Let's check this one. Light resistance, that's much better. So let's take a slight detour around to the medium resistance. Success. No resistance there, no battle triggered, and we captured the area. Let's check the town. Light resistance, call in artillery, success again. And we have a battle in the town. Self-propelled gun and an AT gun. Luckily they were destroyed. This is the value of bringing in artillery, because you can destroy enemies even before they get a chance to ambush you. So what are we facing? So this could be an armored car, it could be a troop transport. Either way, it's not that much threat to us. The SPG is still the most immediate threat. It ends up being hidden, and we spotted that. So let's take this out. So SPW, this is an armored personnel carrier. Let's fire off. Now, even though it has an armor of 1, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to set it to reload AP. So the first shot fired off will be HE. It's very lightly armored, so it will probably do the job. In case it doesn't, we can fire off another AP round into it. And in either case, then we will have AP ready, loaded for dealing with the SPG later on. So, close up hatch, fire main gun, AP is ready, good to go. Fire. And luckily he's at close range, so we should... No, we missed. SPG moves. SPW doesn't do anything. Destroyed. Now we have an MG squad, which we spotted. So we spotted the SPG. We still haven't identified it, so we have no idea whether it is something that is very scary or not that scary. But it's at long range, so, and it's also hull down and also moving, so it's pretty unlikely that we'll be able to hit it. Let's see what we can do against this MG team. Alright, loader is going to change the gun load because I want HE in there. Let's fire off coax, and we're not hull down. Let's fire off MGs and see if any of them do anything. So put an HE shell in the gun, fire the coax MG first, less than 5, no. Hull MG, no. Pretty slim odds, it didn't happen. Good, SPG, hey, they're taken out. Alright, so I did gain 10 victory points from that. I lost an infantry squad, but we took out an anti-tank gun, self-propelled gun, either a scout car or troop transport, and 1 MG squad. And we captured the area, which was not too bad. So let's open up the hatches. Gun load, ammo reload is good. Let's throw in another HE load, or an AP load into the ready rack. So now we're good to go. So again, this is still our target. We only have 4 hours and 45 minutes left. Let's see if we can get there. So next adjacent area is here. Light resistance, artillery success, no resistance. Let's go here. Maybe we can make medium resistance. That's no good. Medium. Okay, so we got 2 medium resistance in front of us. We have to go through one of them. Let's try this. Ooh, overcast, getting spooky. Alright, artillery was a success, and we have a battle with medium resistance. Truck, MG, and an MG. That could have been a lot worse. Artillery comes in and destroys everything. Brilliant. And, oh crap, we got a tank. So this is a Panzer IV, basically the equivalent to our Sherman, albeit with a gun that's slightly better at longer range. I think the armor is pretty much identical though. Yeah, we have slightly better side armor and a better front turret armor. But it's there, so what's it doing? Rear facing, stationary, and hull down. Hull down is a bit of a problem because it makes it much more difficult to hit. But we are also hull down, so I'm going to try not to move because I don't want to lose that hull down status. So instead what I'm going to do, I'm going to set reload to AP, get an AP gun shell in the rack. I'm going to tell the gunner to rotate the turret in case he does stay still. And let's toss out a smoke grenade in case he does shoot back at us. Rotate turret, change gun load, everybody good? Yep. AP, rotate the turret 1 sector. And he was destroyed, that's good. We didn't have to deal with him after all. Excellent. Open up the hatch, change the gun load back to HE. Ready rack is full, everybody's open, good. Alright, so we got an hour 45. I don't think we're going to be able to make it to the exit unless we just charge forward, which, especially in the early game, is never a good idea. Yeah, medium resistance. Light resistance, it sounds a lot better. Let's move into here. Artillery was a bust, but no resistance. 15 minutes left. At this point, we could move into this area because it would only take 15 minutes. We'd probably get into a battle which would take us past sunset. I think at this point I'm just going to burn off time by checking an adjacent area, bringing us to sunset, and ending the day. Sun is set. So we got 33 victory points for today. The experience gained by each crew member is the positive number of victory points you gain for the day plus 2d6. For nobody, that was enough to gain a level, but they're on their way to going up to their next level. And after we finish the day, we're brought back to the campaign journal. It automatically advances the calendar to the next day when you are called up for action, and then the whole cycle begins again. You begin the combat day and work your way through the campaign map. So we can view our crew, we can see that our experience points have gone up, and this always tells us the number of experience points we need to go up a level, at which point we'll get another skill point, and then we can start adding more skills to our crew. So that's the end of the first day. As you saw, most of the time I was very cautious. I didn't move into areas unless I already knew what the enemy resistance level was going to be like. I called in a lot of artillery because that can get rid of enemy units before you even start. And I also got pretty lucky. I wasn't the lead tank for the day, which meant I was a little bit more protected, and I did get very lucky in that a lot of the resistance we found was sort of MG teams and scout cars, neither of which can do very much damage to our tank. So that's the basic game system, the sort of the pattern, the flow of the game of Armored Commander. I hope you enjoyed it.